So, I mean, I think the first thing that you have to look for is that the people who are orchestrating the build, so the president, CEO, the COO, if there is one, you know, the VP of technical services, the people who are running, making the decisions and making sure that all the things that need to be happening are happening, they need to have built mines before, like a bunch of them.
Right, a bunch.
So I think that's like where you start. And again, it's always hard to assess the people. We always say you got to start with the people. It can be hard to assess the people because it's not like in most people's bios, they list the things that didn't go well, right?
Of course.
So it's hard to assess the people, but you have to try. You have to look and see if there's successful mine builds in the exec team's backstory. And then if you can if you have the knowledge to dive into some of the mine engineering and geology details, then there's certain things that you really need to look for as the mine build goes on. So I'll use West Red Lake because we're an underground mine. These things are obviously very varied depending on the kind of mine you're building. We're an underground mine that's going to be a fairly narrow, high-grade veins. So we need to have, there's things that are needed for that kind of mine to work. Your mill has to be the right size for the number of tons that you're going to pull out of the ground. You can only pull a certain number of tons out of the ground if you have enough stopes, which are the places where you're actually mining. Those all need to be not only identified as resources, but engineered and development done to them so that they are available to mine when you need to mine them. So that can be summarized in something called a stope book. So like if you have the knowledge to assess whether a company has a good enough stope book, then that can help. I use that as an example. Obviously, most investors out there don't have the knowledge or the time, the ability to be able to ask that question.